Hi everybody, I'm Brian with Fort Knox Company, and I'm going to show you how to install some carbon monoxide and smoke detectors in your home. So here's some items that we'll be using. I'll put links for everything that I have and that I'm using in the video in the description and also on the channel. So here we have our 14-3 wire. This is the wire that has the black, red, and white. That red wire is that third wire because that will be jumping all the smoke detectors together. We have our junction boxes. Since we're doing new construction, we're putting this and the walls are open. We'll be nailing these directly in there, but if you need to, you can use an old work box. We have our connectors of our choice. Couple different options, but I prefer these new ones. They just have a little tab that you push the wire in and it connects. Drywall if we need to cut openings. Fishing tape in case you need to fish wire through the ceiling, through the rafters. If you're going through a metal junction box and you don't have something like this, plastic, make sure that you're putting wire through the metal with these garments to kind of protect it. And then we obviously have our smoke detectors. I found these on Amazon, and again, I'll put a link for them. This is a 3-pack because I only needed 3, but this was the best price. I think I got them for just under $100. They're hardwired, they come with batteries, really nice. Let me show you what they look like inside. Everything's packaged really nicely. These are the black, white, and red that we'll be connecting. They come with mounting in case you're not gonna be mounting them directly to a box. You can even mount them into the drywall. And when you pull these out, you can see that they package everything nicely. This is where it plugs in. And the cool part is it even gives you the batteries. So we have batteries in here because these all have battery source and they're also hardwired, so they have constant power. But this is a 3-pack, put links for it in the video. Let's go ahead and get started on the first step, which is installing these. So one of the first things you want to do with these hardwired smoke detectors is find your power source. That could be at an outlet. That could be, in our case, like a dedicated ceiling fan, but you need some type of power source that is consistent, that goes directly to the breaker and does not have like a switch on it. You need constant power, and like the examples I just gave. And in my situation, I'll be using the power in the ceiling that I know is dedicated to the fans. I ended up running dedicated power to the ceiling fans in this casita that I'm building because I know that everything nowadays usually has a remote and you don't want to have a switch to turn the power on to the fan. So I ran dedicated power to these fans, and it's 2 junctions in the ceiling. So just like an outlet, it has consistent power no matter what, and the way you turn it off is at the breaker. So I'll be jumping from the power in the ceiling at this junction box, and I'll be going over to the first junction where the first smoke detector will be installed. From there, we're gonna locate where we wanna put our smoke detector, mount the junction box. If you have the wall open, you can just nail it in place where you want it. If you're gonna be doing this where you have to cut through some drywall, they have a couple old work boxes which actually have little tabs. So when you cut the hole, you can insert it and the tabs will actually grab to the drywall. Then you can have your junction box where the smoke detector will screw to. Once you have your junction box installed, we can then start running our power. We are gonna use 14-3. That has the red, black, and white. That red wire is the important one because that's the jumper. That is what connects all these smoke detectors together. So the black and white will be ran just as you would any other outlet, connecting all the power. But that red is like a signaling wire. It actually lets one know if the other one is triggered to set off all of them. And depending on what kind of junction box you're using, when you run that wire through it, if it's metal, you need to make sure that you're using some of these little garments. These actually protect the wire so that it doesn't chafe or cut on the metal that the junction box is made out of. And again, if you don't have everything open, like in my situation, I'm trying to show you everything that goes on in the ceiling. If you are cutting through the drywall and installing an old work box, you might need to use something like this. This is an electrical fishing tape. Got to have one of these if you're doing any electrical work, because if you're going to do anything like renovations or adding outlets, this is gold. You can run this through the wall, you can feed it up through the ceiling, and then you can catch it in the other hole. So this will be a little bit rigid and it kind of goes through the insulation, through the different cavities in the ceiling, and then you can attach the wire on the other end and then pull it back through. There's a couple different methods of it, but I really like using this fishing tape, so I would highly recommend having one of these in the garage. Once we have our box mounted and we have our wire ran, we can then run that 3 wire all the way over to the next junction box. I have one here in this room, and then I have another one over in the kitchen area, and then I have another one in the bedroom. Most commonly, these smoke detectors, these CO2 detectors, are required by code in any living space, cooking space, such as living rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, like that. You don't necessarily need them in a closet or in a bathroom, but somewhere where someone sleeps or lives or cooks. Now for my original power source, I have my power here in this box for the fan. I have my black and whites, my hot, my neutral, and this will be going over to my first box where the smoke detector is. Technically, I don't need a 14.3. I could use a 14.2 wire like this. Just because I have the 14.3, that's fine. I'm not gonna be using the red here. I'm just gonna be connecting these, and then this brings power over to my first box. Between the smoke detector to the next one, I'm gonna be using this red wire. So this is what it looks like hooked up. We have our grounds connected here, going over to the first smoke detector box, black connected and white connected. The reason I ran a 3 right here, a 3 junction, is because I'm gonna be using this for a fan still, so I wanna be able to plug my fan wire in to these, so I'm already thinking ahead that I have an extra spot to connect to the power source. But now we have black and white and this bare copper going over to our new box. And this right here is the power coming over to the first box, and this is the power going out. So you can see we have our black and white. I'm not gonna use the red, so I'll tuck that out of the way. We're gonna connect these to these, and then we'll connect this first red to the red here on this plug for the smoke detector. These blacks will be connected, these whites will be connected, and then these 2 reds will be connected. Then we'll do the same thing as we continue down to every box. This is everything wired up. I have a push connect just to kind of show you where we make a double connection. These are really good for just pushing in solid core wire. These right here I used because they have soldered tips, so they're easy to push in. The only thing with these push-ins is that with a stranded wire, it's really difficult to get it to kind of push through. So then there's these clamps where you pop them in like that. So I got 3 here, blacks, the whites, I have my red, which is jumping, and then I have my coppers. So in the next box, we'll do this again, and we'll have 3 of everything. So here's our second box. We have our wires that just came from the other one, which is over here in the other room. These are our wires coming in. These are the wires that go out to the last one, which is over in the bedroom. So again, we'll connect blacks, whites, and reds, and then we'll jump the copper again with just a double. We'll get all these connected with the smoke detector plug, wire these in, and then our last one is where these wires will end for the last plug. Once you have these wired in, the installation of the smoke detector is pretty straightforward. You just plug it in the back, you put in the power source, a little battery, and then you can mount it onto the junction box as you would. And that's another thing I want to bring up is that these almost always have a battery, so that if for whatever reason your power source is cut off, let's say you have an electrical fire and your electrical goes out, the battery should take over, and that allows the smoke detector or the CO2 detector to still function, especially if it's caused by a fire and you have a power outage, to be able to detect and activate and let everybody know in the house that we need to get up, we need to get out, and that there's a fire. This one right here is the last one. There's not going to be another one after this, so I can just use the double connector. This is just like a 2-port. So we got everything connected to our plug. And now I'll just show you how this goes on once we have the drywall, the way that the actual smoke detector or the CO2 detector mounts. The way that these work, it has this little circular base that we actually twist off. This comes off, it says this side is towards the wall. We will mount this up against the ceiling. I think the hardest part is just trying to find or having the correct screws. I'm gonna use some short drywall screws and actually screw this in place. Then we can plug it in, put the battery in here, and then we can put it up and turn it, and it's ready to go. So with the plate this side towards the wall, we'll feed it through, and then we can see how it lines up perfectly with this box. And you can see the holes right here. Figure out which ones it lines up with, and then we'll screw it in place just like that. Then we can put our smoke detector right up against it. This is mounted flush. It sits right in there perfectly. Then we plug this in, and the way this goes in is it actually sits and then it slides. I could do this with one hand. So then we're plugged in, then we can tuck the wires back in, put it on there, have it sit, locks in place, just like that. Now, if I can do that with one hand, you can definitely do this yourself. And now that we're done, we're good to go. You can sleep safe at night. You have new smoke detectors, CO2 detectors where you need them. And I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button, share this video, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm doing all kinds of renovations in this casita. building it from the ground up. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments for me. I'm really good at getting back to those. I appreciate and I like hearing back from everybody. And if you have any tips or tricks, again, leave them there in the comments for me. I like hearing back from everybody, seeing different ways that things can be done. It's always good to learn and try new things. My biggest motivation is always learning and trying to do things myself, but really saving that money and taking some pride in your work. And if anything breaks, you know what to do. You can fix it yourself. You don't have to call and wait for somebody. So that's always a good feeling. But once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next build.